Hello everyone and a very warm welcome. In this particular tutorial, we are going to look at something really fresh out of the oven. It's so fresh that the article tells me that the article itself, forget about the feature, the article itself is in pre-release and the document is subjected to change. So if you're curious, if you're someone who likes and enjoys coding and wants to get your feet wet with new technology, this video is for you. My name is Clavin. I'm a Microsoft Business Applications MVP and also a solutions engineer at Nutrient. So without wasting further time, let's get into Vibe for Power Apps. So firstly, this particular feature is as of now available only for the US region. It will be available to the other regions. If you see, it's only available for the US region and English only. So if you're not in the US region, just wait for some time and you will go ahead and get these features available in your tenant. These will be available under the preview features. So how do you access this? You can directly go to vibe.preview.com. I didn't want to do that, to be very honest. I wanted to open this on a new tab. And let me drag this article to a different screen. So this is how you're greeted. It tells you, it gives you a few suggestions that you can create an equipment request, you can create an RSVP management, onboarding tools, etc. Then you have plans where I already have created an app, and then you have apps. This is like a dashboard where you can find all of your code apps. Okay, I'm using the word code apps for a reason, and I'll explain it to you in a little bit. So first and foremost, you need an idea to build the app. So let's come up with an idea. It's nearly Christmas. You can see in the background that I have a lot of Christmassy stuff on my board, including a calendar and a naughty and good boy list because I have a kid and we love Christmas. How do I start? This is something in preview and you see that this is preview. See terms. If you're interested, look at the terms. But this is an interesting thing. You want to describe what you build. Shopping list or a shopping list app, right? It's Christmassy. We want to go ahead and buy a few things from Christmas. And here we have multiple stores, but we need to pick up groceries from Tesco, then maybe decorations from HomeSense, and so on, so on. I want to describe this. I want to create a Power Apps real quick so that I can get my shopping in place. So let's start building it. So first thing that I'm going to do is think of a prompt. So I need to create a shopping list app. And it's creating a prompt for me. Actually, you don't need to build a prompt for this. You can actually type what is in your head and then refine the prompt. But here we will go ahead and put in something big. So if I paste this in, it looks all right, right? It looks all right. Now I'm going to paste in more text in to see what is the limit of the prompt. It doesn't complain anything. That's good. So I'm going to paste more text into it so that I can test it. Aha! Here you know that the character limit for the prompt is 4,000 characters, okay? So when you're building a prompt, make sure that it's lower than 4,000 characters. Very important. I'll again show you. This is a character limit. This might increase in the future, but today the limit is 4,000. As I told you, this is not something that I want to do. So I want to create a very basic shopping list tab. So I'll paste this in and I'll click on this button, right? Now this button is really interesting because if you are an end user and trying to create apps and you don't know enough about prompt engineering, it helps you refine your prompt. So I'll click on Enhance Prompt and let's see what it comes up as. Perfect. So if you see, I want to copy this, right? And I want to paste it below my original prompt out here. So there is quite a bit of difference. It has put in more text. It has put decorated text with examples out here. So the prompt is much better than the one that I have written. So this is a big kudos to the Power Apps team, right? They are not only thinking of you, but they are also thinking how they can enhance your experience. Now, one thing you need to see is that when you click on Enhance Prompt, does it actually deviate the whole app purpose? Okay, I've seen that at times it actually deviates all the app purposes. It actually changes the whole idea of my app. So let me do another thing out here, right? Let me copy this and let's do this. If you are an AI person like me, so I'll say, this is my idea. This is AI generated idea. And I'll tell it what I need. Can you ensure that my idea matches the AI suggested idea? Here you see that it will tell me if it actually drifted from the original idea that I put in or what is different, right? Here you see that it tells me that they are very close, but the AI version is basically more detailed. So that's good, right? It's good. So it's all positives are in here, but understand this. This is very important. I'm telling you this because sometimes the AI may over engineer things, right? It is meant to help you. It is meant to over engineer. So make sure that it doesn't over engineer extremely. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and try to click on the play button, and here it tells me, what are we solving? We are designing an app. So this is exactly my idea. So it tells me that there are two user roles. One is the shopper role and the second one is the family member role. Very good. And then it's trying to create the data model. So it understood the plan. Now it's trying to create the databases. Not the databases. It's trying to create the table within the databases. It's also going ahead and plumbing the relation. In fact, it's so fast, if you see out here, that before I speak, it went ahead and tried to create individual pages, right? It's creating pages for me. Here, it actually tells me that the code agent is putting your app in place. So what is a code agent? So this is very intelligent. First, they have divided the agents into 4 parts. Requirement agent. It tells you, it takes care of your requirement. Data agent. It actually builds the data versus database. Code agent is writing code for you. And the solution agent, I think, is basically creating the solution and doing all the stuff for administration related to Power Apps. So as we speak, wow, as we speak, the app is created. The app looks good, right? You can click on view list. Let's see, it's still creating, so let's not hurry. So it might take a 2 or 3 minutes. So I will pause the video here and we'll come back. Okay. So here, if you see, it took up some time, but it created your app. The difference is when the app is ready, you actually get the app is ready, go to plan. What was your plan? What did it define from the plan? So what it did understand, and it created 2 roles. Then it tells you the data model, what tables it created in Dataverse. Then it tells you also about the technology, right? So this is something that you can read, but let's actually jump into the app and see if it actually works. So when we jump into the app, there are 3 buttons on the top: preview, code, and split. So code means you get a full screen experience. When you click on preview, it means it has a full screen experience. Here you have the code, which actually is the code for the app, very important. And then you have a split where you can see side by side. And this is something where you prompt, right? Let's close the prompt and let's look at the app itself. So this is the app. So first, when I click on the app, it tells me that I can add stores. So this is good. If I want to add another store, let's say Aldi, aldi.co.uk, save, right? So it created a store at this point. So the stores are getting created. Good. If I click on refresh, it's there. Now that I have stores, now what I can do is it has a home screen where it tells me the outstanding items, etc. But I need to go ahead and add the items. So how do I add the items? So I can add a store. That's wonderful. But it created something which I find difficult to add items. This app seems to be not user-friendly. So what I'm going to ask it, how do I add items in the shopping list, right? I should have read the plan better, right? But I'm lazy. And I want to see is how can I add items to the shopping list. I would read the code to confirm the required fields and behaviors. Okay, perfect. So it's reading the code. It's reading the code, and it will tell me exactly what the instructions are. Now, this is a very easy way to see how you can add items to the list. So if you go look at this, isn't this wonderful? First, it tells me I found the add button. It didn't change any of my code. It tells me navigate to the store shopping app list in the summary view or the stores, right? Once I click on the store, I can click on view, and here I can say add items. It was hiding. Perfect, right? Maybe you don't need this behavior. You need a better behavior. You can tweak the code. You can say add the add item button to the home screen. Don't change any logic or remove existing buttons. Okay, so this is going to be very interesting now. So here you see you are just going ahead and fine-tuning your idea. It created a structure for you, which you built, right? It might not be the best, but it is what it is. And then you are trying to reiterate on it. You're going to try and reiterate the ideas, and then it's going to go ahead and make the code changes and the behavior even better. So here it tells me that the home screen code is in index.tsx, right? So if I look at the code view, I know that the code that I'm looking that it's going to change is going to change under pages. It's going to change under index.tsx. Now, all of you developers out here, right? You will see that this is a React-based code. It has also got JPGs, by the way, right? We will try to change maybe this JPG. Let me check what this JPG is. I think it's the shopping cart image, right? So yeah, that's the shopping cart image. If you want to actually get into the code and find a little bit more, this is really wonderful. It actually shows you the code as well. So here, I think the build has been successful. So I will go to the app, and voila, you have the add items out here. Add items is there. That's good. I go back. I click on add items, and it tells me that I can add an item, but I still need to go into the view item, and then I need to click on add item. So what I'm going to do is I can toggle inline edit. So if you are struggling with something, this might be your friend. So let's try this, right? As of now, I'm struggling to select things. So just go back, click on it again, I'm trying to make inline edits. Make a copy of this button on the home page. So duplicate the button without altering any logic. And if you see, that was a good choice because my button that I actually intended to be is not as expected, right? It takes me to the stores. So when I click on this and when I click on this, it takes me to the stores. But what I want it to do is when I click on this, it still takes me to the stores, right? So there's something that is I'm not able to click or I'm not able to understand out here. So when I click on view, it goes into this, it goes into the add button. And then when I click on the add item, it opens a modal box, right? It opens a modal box. So let's do something even better. What it is, right? So this is the div, which is the dialog div. When the user clicks on add item on the index page, it should launch the form and dialog associated with something like this. Okay, I'm actually pushing my luck, but let's see if we get through it. So here, if you see, it's AI, right? You need to give it good prompts. You need to understand a bit of code. It actually gives you a lot of code here. I should actually look at this code and see what it actually does. You can ask it questions, right? And then you need to go ahead and actually do the changes to your app. So this is something that is trial and error, and at the end you will reach there, okay? So don't expect magic on the first go. So here it tells me that it has done something. It will create an item and a box. So let's see if it works out this time. So I need to go to the app, need to go to the home. Now which item? Voila! You see, it did it. It can actually now add items. I'll again show you. It might not be perfect, but here if you see, it does add an item. Now there is another problem out here that it always adds the item for Tesco, but here you see that it does what I asked for. So little bit of tweaking here and there can get you there, right? So not little bit, maybe a little bit more. Another benefit of this is now I have two buttons out here. I can just say, remove this because I don't want duplicates. And I can hit enter and it will try to remove this particular button from the screen. And that's really awesome. Now, if you want to do multiple other changes, you can do multiple other changes as well. So having a bit of understanding about the code is always useful. Okay. What I did is just out of enthusiasm to show you that how it can be done. But I expect you to be a little bit more careful or a little bit more or look into it a bit deeper so that you can get a better understanding of your app. Okay. Don't just leave it to AI. That's my 2 cents out here. Don't just leave it to AI. You're a person. You need to read the stuff. You need to know what you're doing. You need to know what AI has done to create this app, right? So always ask. If you are in doubt, ask. Now here, if you see this particular thing, it's saying that I found index, it's summarized, it removed it, but I don't see that it's removed. So don't worry, click on refresh preview. It will refresh the app, right? It's refreshing the app and it's still there, right? It's still there. So technically, this didn't work. Don't expect magic on the first go. So I'll again say, can you remove this button? And second time, let's see if we get second time lucky. If you're second time still not lucky, what you need to do is you need to get into the code. You need to find it, find the code, and then ask it to remove it. Okay. But let's see if we are lucky this time. So other interesting thing, can you make changes to the code? No, you cannot make changes to the edit code. You can only read it. Any changes to the code, if you need to make it, you need to make it through the prompt. Okay, this is very important. You need to make it through the prompt. It actually will tell me where it actually went. Add remove button is now back to the stores as before. The location, blah, blah, blah. Maybe it just messed it up. So you see that it removed both the buttons, which is not good, right? I added the button, but now it has removed both the buttons. So browse store, add store is fine, but technically it removed all the button and I'm not happy about it. I want this button back. So if you see, the whole workflow was a bit messed up. So what I want to do out here is I want to maybe change the logic of the entire app. Because it's not that good, because I cannot find the store. I need to first find the store, right? To click on view store, and then I need to add the button. So you can simplify this. Now I can go on with this the whole night and I can create an app which is picture perfect. But this is not the purpose of this demo, right? The purpose of this demo is to understand what you can do and how you can do it. But now let's go further. So firstly, I told you about the agent, so that's good. It tells me which environment it is in, right? It also gives me session details, so that's all right. So in the session details, it tells me that the cluster geospace is US, obviously. That's why it's available in the US region. And I can save my app. At this point, I can save my app and the app will be saved in my Dataverse. Now, this is interesting. The app is getting saved somewhere. Where is this somewhere? Do you guess where it is? We can go back to make.powerapps.com. I'm in the right environment. I'll click on solutions. And here, if you see, I have a preferred solution. So if I click on the preferred solution out here, it doesn't show the app yet. Okay, it doesn't show the app yet. So I need to go back here. It's saved. Let me hit the publish. And here it tells me that, I'm going to work with Dataverse now. Can you use other data sources? It's in preview. Not yet. Maybe in the future, you might get an option to use some other data source. Maybe SQL, maybe SharePoint, and I hope not Excel. Okay, so here you see that it's getting published. So that's good, right? Once it gets published, we'll go back out here and we will check if it creates it in the default environment or in the default solution. Understand this, my preferred solution is not the default solution. It's different. I have set a preferred solution. My current preferred solution is different from my default solution. So this has been published, so that's good. Now if I go back to the solutions, you see that it has created the solution in the preferred solution. So understand this. If you're doing this, always create a solution first, right? Set it as a preferred solution and then go ahead and play around with it so that it's all in the preferred solution. And most interestingly, you see that it's a code app. Previously, we just had two options, if you remember. One was the model-driven app and the second one was the Canvas app. Out here, you can see it clearly. You can either add a model-driven app, Canvas app, or a page, okay? But apps were of two types, model-driven and Canvas app. But now we have a third category, code apps. Interesting, right? So finally, you are happy with your app, then maybe you can share your app with multiple people and they can start using it. You can also copy the link and send it to others. This is good, okay? This is good. It will improve. It will get better. I will get better in prompting. I will create better apps. Yes, AI will over-engineer. This is clearly an over-engineered app. I don't need it so complicated. But yes, we will get there. We can create an app and we will make it interesting. So I think that's pretty much it. Let me work the whole night on this app and build something good. But this is my honest opinion. This is what I understand with Vibe apps, or you can say Vibe for Power Apps. And I hope that you enjoy vibing. Thank you. Have a great day and bye-bye.